Every marriage has 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the bicker ring. We're here to settle the fights that don't matter and have no winner. It's the 3 Rings Podcast with another new argument.
Welcome once again to another edition of the 3 Rings Podcast. My name is Phil.
I'm Lauren.
We are married.
We are.
Still married.
Yeah, still.
We've been doing this for a while now, and I've had some people that have asked, be like, so you guys fight a lot about, all these random topics and stuff like that. Does it actually, impact the marriage at all?
No.
It really does. This is the long and short of it.
It's not nearly as acrimonious as we make it sound.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's mainly just these are stupid arguments that it's not going to really necessarily impact us too much. But
I feel like you can tell. I laugh most of the time that we're doing this.
Yes.
When you're having a serious fight with your spouse, you're not laughing that much.
Yeah,
at least not typically.
Yeah, I would hope at least. If you're actually having a real fight and somebody's laughing, it's that's not going to end well for you.
It's a dick move.
It kind of is, yeah. But no, we are still married, and we've survived the majority of quarantine, essentially.
Yeah, I'm back at work normally, so I feel like we've made it through the hard part of being together, 24 hours a day together, and we were fine.
Yeah, and we're coming up on Memorial Day weekend, which I know most things are supposed to be opening up by then. So, we'll see what happens. What are you most
looking forward to being open?
Restaurants.
Restaurants, really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that that's your answer.
I don't know.
You know why I'm saying that?
Yeah, because my hair is out of control.
And you've been complaining about it nonstop.
Yeah.
I really think it bothers you more than it bothers me.
Yeah, well, I have a haircut scheduled, but I only get my hair cut roughly once a month.
Yeah, maybe
so.
once every other.
I don't know. I'd say
you're
every
closer to 6 weeks, every 6 weeks than every 4 weeks.
Yeah, but in that time, I like going out to restaurants and sitting down and not having to worry about dishes or trash or dealing with the dog when the delivery driver shows up or any of that.
I feel like it really hasn't impacted me that much because I think I'd rather eat at home than go out most of the time.
I'm kind of in between. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to have to deal with anything at all. So
that makes sense. I get it. Yeah.
But there are a lot of places that I want them to open back up because they either don't deliver to us or it's kind of too far out for us to go pick it up, bring it home type of deal.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of our favorite spots downtown.
Yeah.
I know we'll be super pumped when Garage Bar's back open.
Yeah, Garage Bar. I'm looking forward to some Biscuit Belly at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, there are a lot of places that...
I think the place that I miss the most is Limoni Sal. We've been able to get them to deliver, but it's just not quite the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No, and then I'm looking forward to... I really want to get my hair done.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
You got all your hair product stuff that you've been doing. You've been taking care of your own hair.
I've been really trying hard to step up my hair game. I've been kind of trying to step up my hair and makeup game, and I know the culprit of this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's the culprit?
RuPaul.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Well, all of those drag queens are so fabulous and they look so beautiful. And I'm I want to look beautiful like a drag queen. It's just the truth. I just want to look beautiful like a drag queen.
Okay.
They look, and their stuff is so impressive. It's so impressive.
Okay.
Oh, shut up. Don't even play. You love RuPaul's Drag Race. You've been getting into it lately.
The only thing that I do not like about that show is all the drama. And I know that's half of it.
That's half of it. Yeah, it's supposed to be shade throwing.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
You just don't like it when they're not nice to each other.
Just why you gotta be dicks all the time? You don't need to.
It's a competition.
I understand it's a competition. So
when you played
go
hockey,
out and compete.
When you played hockey, did you talk smack to the other team?
Only occasionally.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah, they do it all the time though.
It's kind of who they are. And most of the time they kind of throw shade and they laugh about it too. They all are kind of in on it.
Yeah.
But
I guess.
Yeah, Phil has been very invested in RuPaul's Drag Race, more so than I expected.
I mean, I just like being right about who gets sent home and who wins.
And we've been discussing the fact that Phil would make an excellent straight drag queen because he could throw shade like none other.
Yeah, I just don't want to dress up or do makeup or any of that. Just like put me in
And
the
not
room
for
and then
any
throw
reason
shade.
other than you said it's like too much work. It seems like too much work.
It seriously is. Like, geez, like they do so much on that, but I don't know.
I'm kind of looking forward to when I know Lemu around here does a drag brunch, and I'm looking forward to going to that again because I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just a question of when everything's back open and whether or not we get a second wave of this bullshit.
Oh my god, don't even say that.
Yeah. I know.
Let's move on to something lighter and happier, shall we?
Lighter and happier. How about this week's debate?
I'm excited.
I know you're excited. And
This is something that's very near and dear to my heart.
yes, not so near and dear to my heart, but I am opinionated about it.
Yes, absolutely.
So this week we're going to be discussing what is the best Taylor Swift song.
And I have strong opinions.
I don't have very strong opinions. But
You have one strong opinion.
I have a opinion, and that's the
Although-
opinion I'm going to make.
Again, like, you were super surprised at, like, I mean, I guess not surprised, but you were really impressed by her live show.
Yeah, she
Like,
puts on
I
a
would-
fantastic show.
I wouldn't say that you're not a Taylor Swift fan.
I will say this. Pop artists put on fantastic shows. If you ever go to a pop show, like, the production is way over the top because it should be,
Oh, yeah.
you know? So,
And we went during the Reputation tour.
yeah, which that album was Chef's Kiss, amazing.
Yeah, Phil really
Very
liked
good.
that album. It's a bummer it didn't do as well as we had hoped, but
It did pretty well.
yeah, pretty well.
Pretty well. I mean,
Not-
in the grand scheme of albums, it did pretty
This
well. In the grand
is-
scheme of Taylor Swift albums, it's all right.
This is where we kind of get into it, though, because it wasn't 1989 good,
Okay.
which is my...
Well, how about you start us off then? And
Okay.
You make your stance.
Okay, so in my opinion, the best Taylor Swift song is Style from 1989,
All right.
which was released in 2015.
Yeah.
So my three main points were the commercial success of the album and that single.
Okay.
It was the start of her, like, quote unquote sexy pop phase and her departure from country. 1989 is not only one of Swift's best albums, but one of the best pop albums of all time.
All right. Bold
So-
statements.
Yeah. So to start, Style was ranked really highly by a number of, like, lists and publications. Like, Pitchfork ranked Style at number 50 on their list of 2014's best songs, not just best pop songs, but
Okay.
best songs. Pop Matters' Corey Beasley was impressed by Swift's departure from country to the new styles that fit her like a, and I quote, cashmere-lined leather glove, and deemed the song Style immaculate. And Benjamin Bowles selected Style as one of the album's highlights. It's been, like, highly lauded.
Well, here's my question though. Before you continue on with all of its accolades,
Okay.
wasn't the album before that more of a pop album? It was
Red?
like
No, it was still country.
there were songs on there that were.
I mean,
pop
it
songs.
had like "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together,"
And that's a
but
pop song.
the majority of the songs on that album were country songs and got country radio play.
I mean, sure,
The majority.
but I don't think you can say that Style is what brought her into the pop world. Then
Everybody counts 1989 as what brought her into the pop world. Red is not
that
considered.
album, sure. But Style wasn't even the first single that was released from that album. So you had what, 2 other singles before Style even came out, which was all pop.
Oh my god, I hate arguing music with you. It's so annoying.
I'm just
You're
saying.
His encyclopedic knowledge of music is just, it really grinds my gears sometimes. This is just about how it was, like, commercially successful, though. I mean, it did mark a different... I'm talking more so when I say, like, her sexy pop phase, that's what
Yeah.
I'm discussing. Like, it's the first, like, song that she discussed, like, having a guy stay overnight and, like, taking off articles of clothing. Like, she didn't ever talk about that stuff in
Fair.
previous pop songs.
Didn't Blank Space do that too?
No, they didn't. It wasn't like about like people staying overnight and stuff.
Wow.
Style is like much sexier than her previous pop songs. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the first pop song, because she definitely had crossover hits, but I'm saying it's the first like sexier one that she had. Like, it's the most adult pop song that she had put out up until that point.
Okay.
So will you concede that at least?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, and I mean, nothing to say of the success that 1989 had as a whole. It's like not only one of the best, it's probably, I would say most people regard it as her best album. And I'd say it's one of the best pop albums of all time.
Not this one.
1989 won the favorite pop rock album at the 2015 American Music Awards. It was album of the year at the 2016 iHeartRadio Music Awards. At the 58th at the 58th Grammy Awards, it won album of the year and best pop vocal album. She became the first female solo artist to win the former category twice. Her first win was for Fearless. And I mean, it's included like in a bunch of decades lists. So Variety's journalist Chris Willem included it in the 2010s best of list. I mean, I could go, I mean, this, like, all you have to do is look up the number of awards the album and the song have won.
Okay. I mean, it sounds more to me like you're arguing the album more than the song, though.
I think it all plays into it, though.
Okay.
Well, what would you say is the best song on 1989?
Probably Blank Space.
I think you only like that one so much because I Prevail covered it.
I mean, even before they covered it, it was still a hit.
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a hit, but is it the best song?
I think so. Off of that album, at least.
You think that song is lyrically the strongest? It's got the best composition. Like, you're literally looking me in the eye and, oh, get out of here.
Please.
Get out of here.
I barely know half of what's on that album, to be fair.
So I feel like we shouldn't even be arguing this, because if you're going to argue about something you don't know, you got to come correct with the facts.
I've already done that multiple times in this argument.
You misunderstanding my point isn't coming correct with the facts. It's you misunderstanding my point.
Okay. Whatever. Continue on.
That's pretty much all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. Well, I think, and mine is very off the wall. Mine wasn't even a single.
Okay, then what are we even doing here?
We're arguing is what the fuck we're doing. So I think...
Okay.
No, I think the best Taylor Swift song is I Did Something Bad.
I thought that one was a single.
If it was fucking way, way, way at the end, like a fifth or a sixth single.
What were the other singles from that album?
That stupid one that they worked first.
Look What You Made Me Do.
Yeah, which sucked.
And then it did not suck.
It sucked.
And then what were the Delicate?
Delicate was one. I forget what the second one was. The second one was like what they should have led with, but they didn't.
Oh, Ready for It.
Yeah.
Ready for It. So it was Look What You Made Me Do, Ready for It, Delicate, and then I do think that they worked, or I Did Something Bad.
I'm pretty sure that they didn't. But my 3 points for why I think I Did Something Bad is the best Taylor Swift song. Number one, it was her departure from the innocent pop star and the sexy pop star that you are throwing around with in that album.
If you could see my face right now,
shut up.
I'm side-eyeing this majorly.
Sure. All right. And then we talked about it a little bit earlier, my second point, the live performance. And then my third point is the overall sound and appeal of the song. So, point number one, the departure of the innocent pop star. That entire album was about, it's like, all right, I don't really give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but I mean, as far, like, we've already said that her first, like, adult sounding single was Style.
I mean, it's adult pop though, but this is like more like in your face, like.
So you're saying that if we're gonna compare Taylor Swift to another pop artist, this would like be Britney Spears with "I'm a Slave for You."
Sure.
Okay, I will concede that point. Yes, I will. I'll give you that one.
But the song, it's not. Again, I don't think it was worked as a single. If it was very late in the album cycle.
Which I don't understand why.
Well, I know.
Okay.
Tell me about it. But, it wasn't the most commercially successful song from the album. But I think that it just kind of shows that different personality and, a sense of, like angst almost that's in there. And less bubblegum pop in there. It hits pretty hard. There's attitude, there's heaviness to it, and it's a less like innocent kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't love that song. Like, we both know I love that song. I love that whole album, but like,
I know.
I just don't think I don't think any song on that album could stack up to anything that was on 1989.
Well, here's the thing. Remember when we saw the concert?
Yes.
Did any other song hit you as hard as that one did? There were fucking fireworks. There was shit like crazy for that song. And I think there were only like 2 songs that she had fireworks for.
I mean, as far as fireworks go, sure, but like, I remember a lot I remember so much about she did an acoustic cover of, or not a cover. She did an acoustic version of, what's the name of the song?
I don't know.
All Too Well.
Okay.
I remember that really well. That was a highlight of the concert, but there were so many other, it was hard to choose a highlight from that concert. It was so good.
Well, she also played that song on the American Music Awards. On the American Music Awards and stole the show with it. When, again, it wasn't even a single.
True, yeah.
And, I mean...
I feel like, you know what I wonder? I wonder if that album would have done well or done better if they had worked that one a little bit harder.
I mean, it probably would have. But, I mean, the fact that she took that song and that's what she performed on the American Music Awards, it speaks volume for picking a song that wasn't a single off the album. Mm-hmm. And just kind of top it all off, there's over 100 million Spotify streams on it, which for a non-single from her is pretty impressive. I mean, most of her singles do like way higher, but her non-singles don't really get that close. So yes, it should have been a damn single is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they really missed the mark on that one. I mean, I love that song and I love that album. I just don't think, I think that someday, when we're listening to what will be classic stations, in the future, they're gonna play Style. I don't know if they're gonna play that one
because this wasn't a single. Most stations don't play things that weren't singles. It's kind of how that goes. That's radio in general.
Clearly there had to have been a reason for that, though.
Yeah, because record labels are picky with all of their things, and sometimes it's just a question of we want something slower, which is why Delicate ended up being a single. That's how it works sometimes. Sometimes it just has to do with the season. Slower songs tend to do well fall and winter. You want something more upbeat heading into the summer. So when you have a couple of songs that are more upbeat in the summer that do well, then you go into the fall, you don't need more upbeat, you need something slower. Little 101 on record labels and singles.
Don't mansplain picking singles to me.
Oh, okay. Well, point number 3, the overall sound and appeal of the song. You can hear the production of Max Martin in it, which, he does fucking everything, it seems. But there's also something new in the sound that you don't hear in past albums from her. Again, that angst, that edginess to it. And one of my favorite things about it, it also draws some influence from Game of Thrones, which kind of gives it a little badass feel to it. But like I said, it sounds different from anything that she's released. And yeah, I
just looked it up, and guess who produced Style too?
Max Martin.
Yeah.
Damn. Max Martin produces like 99.9% of pop music. He is fantastic. He's a wonderful producer. He's probably produced most of her work, at least most of her pop work, I would say, at least. But again, with that song, the edginess to it, the unexpected parts of it, like, it's not a song that you would expect to hear from Taylor Swift up until this album came out. So it's new for her, and it should have done considerably better, in my opinion.
I mean, it should have done better. I'll give you that. I just don't think it's the best. I don't think it's as far as like what's going to go down as a picture of like Taylor Swift, like what's going to encapsulate her in her style. Like, I think Style is going to do that. Well, already look at Lover. Lover went kind of back to the 1989 type feel.
Okay.
That's her style. That's her style.
That's fine.
Style is her style.
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing that this is the best song because it is so different for her, and it was so successful in spite of that. So there's something to that song. When you go and listen to that song, it hypes you the fuck up.
This topic is hard for me because it's like asking a mother to choose her favorite children. I mean, I am not easy. Like...
Leia is my favorite child.
I'm not... I mean, obviously I had nothing to do with the creation of these, but I love all of her music so much that every time you make a good point about that song, I go, oh, you know, that's a good point. That's a good point. But... I gotta stick with the facts. Like, I gotta stick with the cold hard truth. And I think you're the first person that would say that, you know, labels pick songs for a reason. Damn. I just think that Style is what is gonna go down in history as one of Taylor Swift's.
Style is a bad song. I'm just saying it's not her best song.
All right. Well, people, help us out here. We need help.
Please. I know this is a losing battle for me because I picked the most
I don't know if it is.
I mean, I picked the most off-the-wall song, like something that
if you love Taylor Swift, though, I think you love that song.
Probably, but if you don't love Taylor Swift, there are probably songs that you tolerate, and I don't know if this is one of them. So... I don't know. I want to hear some feedback, though.
Yeah,
you can
please.
Find us on all social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, at 3 Rings Pod. Just share your feedback with us and let us know who's right between the two of us, for starters, who won the battle. Mm-hmm. And if we're both wrong, then tell us what song it should be.
We'd also, as of recording, this is the first time we've recorded since our podcast has been available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So honestly, like, please share us with your friends and go on there and rate us, because that will help other people find us.
Indeed.
It'll help, hopefully someday help us produce more of these.
Yep.
And we'd just love to hear what you guys think, if there's something we should be doing differently.
Yeah, if there's arguments that you think we should have.
Yeah, message us. Don't put that in the review.
Yeah, that's kind of pointless.
Only give us a review if you like what we're doing, and you're gonna give us 5 stars. If it's anything less than a 5-star, message us at
fuck you.
Message us at 3 Rings Pod on anywhere you get your social media, and we will do what we can.
Yeah,
or we won't.
Probably won't, because I don't take direction very well. That's just me, though.
All right, thank you. What are we coming at them with next week?
Next week is going to be all about decorating for the holidays, for any holiday.
Okay.
Not cool, but we'll get to that.
Well, we've got week. 4th of July coming up.
Ugh.
I'm pumped.
Stop.
All right, we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to another weekly episode of the 3 Rings Podcast. We'll be back next week with another new argument. In the meantime, follow us on all social media platforms at 3 Rings Pod. Join in the argument and tell us who's right, who's wrong, or why you have the right answer. Whatever. Just tell us stuff.